Good evening, everyone. Welcome here. I'm Cristiano Romano, and tonight it's the week number 4 of the Kskin.de Pro Series. Here we are in Spa-Francorchamps, same as the Endurance Championship, just a week after. I hope everybody is having a pleasant end of the month. It's at the end of July, and tomorrow it's August already, and summer is about to end. But the season just started here in LFM. Now, into the standings we go. Up and running. These the overall results so far, with George Booby, Grant Skarkas and Sam Gaskell battling for the lead, with George Booby with nearly 4,000 points, Karkas following just behind Gaskell 3,800 points, and Shea O'Sullivan just shy of those 3,800 points. Then following it is Philip Minar, Eric Delfant in 6th, 7th for Samir Foch, Tim Flag in 8th, Fabian Buresh in 9th, and in 10th place Matis Kruche completing your top 10th at 2,700 points. Now still a long way to go. Remember, there are some drop rounds in the season, but Pro Calendar is just about to start. So this is a calendar. These are the races that we are about to witness, effectively. Spa being the 4th round, Barcelona being the next round, all the way down to the 12th round with Spielberg, so the Red Bull Ring, Monza, Temple of Speed, Imola, another Italian heritage, Kairami, famous for the endurance, Bathurst, famous for the 12 hours, Suzuka, famous for the 1,000 kilometers, and Northlife, famous for being the Northlife, so the crown jewel of sports car endurance in multiple ways. All the races being double headers, 20 and 40 minutes with a reverse top 15, except the Northlife having only 90 minutes round. In terms of prices, these are the prices for the top 3 for the season number 19. Fanatec will provide the winner with 2,500 euros cash. Fanatec, which is it doesn't really need any presentation. It has just been bought by Corsair, and now their product lineup should be with the highest possible quality. Then for the second place holder, Next Level Racing FGT Pro Bundle, so a full rig with a shifter, with a wheel, and with the pedals and everything that you are seeing in the photo. And for who comes in third, PXN will provide the final podium finisher with 1,000 euros cash. PXN, which is also a nice provider of everything you need for your sim racing career. I think racing simply because it is still in effectively, I wouldn't even call it in early access. It's more like a open alpha version or open beta at best. But AC Evo still doesn't really have any content useful for competitive racing. So at this point, I don't like saying something like this, but it is the thing that AC Evo simply doesn't have content right now. It is mostly, as I said, an open beta more than an early access. Then we can go, since free practice is about to end. These were the results from the last round in the Circuit of the Americas, with Josh Booby winning the 40-minute round, Sam Gaskell following, and Shea O'Sullivan in third with a full British podium. Eric Delfant then arriving in 4th, and Michael Frey finishing the top 5 in, obviously, 5th place. Circuit of the America completely different from tonight's round. Circuit of the Americas has a lot of twists and turns and a huge straight line. The circuit in Belgium is quite different in having no issues. Obviously, for any question, just ask. I'm here for this very reason. Security of America, which is completely different from Spa-Francorchamps, simply because of the flow of the racing track itself. Kota usually has more of an American kind of layout, so a good chunk of turns in the first sector. There is a huge straight line in the second sector, and then the third sector is fully technical, while in Spa it's practically everything. High speed roller coaster. Speaking of which, we can now go into the qualifying session, and the tower is not on because I deactivated last time around. So here we are. On the tower on the left, if you're new to LFM, you can see various... why is it going at... okay, thank you very much. You can see various things. There is the number, which is effectively a strength of driver compared to the field indicator. So whoever has the number 1 is the strongest driver technically, and whoever has the number let me see, 39 is theoretically the last one in the grid. And you will see obviously the name, or rather the surname. And then in the rotation tower you will see for the qualifying the distance to... there is already a cheeky taxi there for number 1 going into the Astor. That's George Booby. You will see the nationalities, you will see the manufacturer, you will see the position delta in the race. And qualifying you will also see the gap to pole. Qualifying now on the way in the endurance round last Sunday, 4.5 hours with me and John. If you didn't see it, I suggest you to watch it back because it was a very nice race with battles for the whole duration of the race. Obviously, I'm not asking to follow every single second, but even to keep it on in the background. It's a nice white noise, even because you have the Italian accent and the Scottish accent in the same stream. In Spa, we saw various drivers putting up 16 in qualifying. We can expect something on the same page, or even better, we can maybe even expect a 15 in the race. But remember, 20 minutes for the first race, 40 minutes for the second, and the top 15 is reversed. So whoever comes first will start 15th, and whoever arrives 15th starts first. Obviously, this also allows for some cheeky tactics. For example, someone who could sacrifice their 14th place or 13th place to come 15th and gain the pole position, and this obviously helps your second race, not so much the first race. In terms of points, the first race gives obviously less points than the second race, and it's if I remember correctly, it's a 30-70 or 40-60, apologies, it's a 40-60 split, so 40% of points for the first race and 60% of usual points for the second race. So it makes sense to sacrifice your positions if you don't feel like they are good enough in the first race to have a better starting place in the second round. Also, obviously, this whole production couldn't be possible thanks to all of our partners. You can see them in the bottom left of the corner rotating, and also you could see them on the trailer on the very beginning of the race. Thanks to them, everything couldn't happen. As we go on board with Sam Gaskell, who will be the first driver to cross the line and to submit a valid lap time. Car number 2, followed by car number 5, and then Josh will be following behind. The British driver has everything in his pocket to put the car in the first place. The question is, will he be able to do so as he comes out of the bus stop chicane to put the car in first with a 15.2. Minar follows with a 15.6 that is not valid since he went off track, and then a 15.5 for George Boothby. 17.1 for Kobe McVeigh in the McLaren. And Sacha Wasner goes now in third in the Mustang LFM, the car number 8. Marcel No gets overtaken by Bogdan Ordais. Sea of Mustangs for this season. The BOP managed, or rather tried, to limit their popularity, but as you can clearly see, it's completely different, and there is a whole field of Mustangs. Shea Sullivan goes in 6th for now, behind Samir Foch and Tim Krusenberg, who put the car in 4th. Aston Martin driven by Dynamic Motorsport by Kalinic, with Krusenberg on the wheel. Gets overtaken by AB Santema in this wonderful matte black and red livery for Referox Esports. Sacha Wasner is in 3rd in the usual LFM Mustang livery with these red and white accents. Sam Gaskell still leads the way. First place for the British driver in car number 2 with a 15.2, and he's also improving his own lap time by 1/10 of a second. This could put the car again, obviously, in 1st, but very close to a 14, which is absurd. I remember a time where if you made a 17, you were a pro driver in terms of speed, and now, even thanks to real-life improvements in the GT3 field, a lap time is on the 15. GT3 which are getting maybe even a bit too fast. There are certain discussions in the fans that these cars are a bit too quick. Sam Gaskell goes quicker than anybody else once more with a 15.1, with Philip Miller following just behind with a 15.3. Josh Boothby wasn't able to improve a 16.4 in the last lap. And someone else who is improving is Shea O'Sullivan by 0.3 of a second, 16.4 in the last lap. This could be a way better lap even because he's already 1.4. So apparently he completely demolished the bus stop early on with a 1.1 second advantage on himself, 15.3. Third place for Shea O'Sullivan, putting the car in 3rd. Then we've got Samir Foch, who lost a good chunk of time in the bus stop, and he does improve his own time, but he doesn't improve his own position. He remains in 11th place behind Matthias Krusche for Fischer Racing Esports. So car number 13 is in 11th now, after a few drivers managed to get further up. Lawrence Barroso is in 8th. Jack Campbell in the Aston Martin for Sky Simsport is in 6th place. Abe Santina sits in 7th in the car number 9, and I can clearly see someone else that put the car in position higher. That's Grantas Caracas in 7th place in the car number 3. Although George Boothby is still improving. You can also see that there are some cars in the background improving. There is Jens Fludeman. We had his review of his racecraft in the Endurance Sunday. Jens Fludeman now 23rd overall. Can he put the car in the top 20? Yes, he will put the car in the top 20, but he will do even just in the top 20 with a 16.6. Just enough to put the car in the top 20, as Team Flag is having some troubles. The driver that is very high in the championship. To be exact, let me check his exact position. The standings. Team Flag is 8th. And as it stands, he is 22nd. So, disaster for car number 25, who is not really on the same path as the usual, as Nir Kassav put the car in 21st place, 16.6 for the Mustang driver in the Master Race car. As Bogdan Ordais is 17th place, followed by Tarkazewski in the MTech GP in 18th place. Number 38 is very high in the field, considering their number, and Abe Santema put the car in 11th. After getting overtaken by Samir Foch, who put the car in 8th place in the car number 10, as Tobias Hogg in the Carvo Motorsport. The Mustang number 21 is now in 11th place. And into the pits, final 5 minutes of qualifying. Jens Pludeman is still improving, 24th place now for the former top 20 driver. Just a bit wider, I think, after Stavro. But he for now remains calm, although Gianluigi Guida put the car in 22nd. Ferrari with his pink and black livery. Italian is now in 22nd place. Mirka Sav is improving. James Pludeman, as I said, after going wide, he lost some terrain, and he's now still improving, but way less than earlier. I don't think he will be able to put the car in the top 20. He actually does, just narrowly, by 7 tenths, no, probably 8 tenths. 8 tenths, 8 milliseconds only. With a 16.527 top 20 for him. Nobody else is now improving. No, never mind. Someone is improving. Mirka Sav here, the 19, is in 26th place. After Michael Frey put the car in 18th. Michael Frey only 18th, by the way. A bit of surprises already for this round. Sav is improving by 6 tenths of a second. This could put the car way high in the grid, even top 12. It goes into 14th place, 16.1 for the Mustang. Huge improvement for them. The Mustang race car. As no one else is now improving. Everybody else is about to start their final attempt, or attempts. With 3 minutes to go, it's 2 laps to go for some. Abe Santema starts the final 2 laps of qualifying, the only qualifying session, because the next qualifying session will simply not appear. It's going to be straight into race number 2. As Michael Frey, I said he was not in a great place comparing according to the result to his last results, and all of a sudden he's going 5 tenths quicker compared to his 16.3. 15.8 could put the car in the top 10, so Porsche could go high in the standings. Oh, just lost a chunk of time there by going over the curb. And Michael Frey now 5 tenths. He was 6 tenths below himself. Now he's improving by 5 tenths. Can he master the bus stop chicane, or will he butcher the final 2 corners of the Belgian racetrack? He goes on the brakes quite carefully, but also very precisely. And matter of fact, he did improve his own bus stop. He goes from 19th to 9th place, 10 places being gained in a single lap with a 15.7. Michael Frey now sits just on the outskirts of the top 10, but in front of Gantas Carikas, who himself is improving by 5 tenths of a second. He submitted 15.8 in the last attempt, and this could be a 15.3, which could put the car in 4th, or even better, in 3rd, or maybe the row number 1. There's still a possible 14 in the air with 55 seconds to go. I'm not sure that Carikas will be able to put together another lap, although many are about to complete their second to last attempt, or maybe even the last one. Sasha Fassner currently into Blanchimont with a 15.6. He sits in 6th out of S's in my sentence. And Sasha Wasner improves his own lap time, but not the position. He remains in 6th. Caracas, opposite, does improve his own position by a lot. By 5 places, he now sits in 5th. And he still has the opportunity to put the car even higher in the grid. As the flag waves, the car number 21 will be the first to take the flag. Car number 21, which is Tobias Hoog in 13th place. Didn't improve the last lap. Tim Kruselberg is improving at the moment. He's in 12th in the Aston Martin. Not so far away from the top spot. Only 7 temps. But Philip Minar is improving a lot. Well, was improving. I think he just went wide in the bus stop. And he doesn't improve. He remains in 2nd. So Sam Gaskell goes into the pits. Very likely to remain in pole position for race number 1. Although George Booby can still steal, at the very least, the top row. He doesn't. He remains in 3rd with a 15.3. So Tim Kruselberg now in the bus stop. Can he make it into the top 10? He does improve by a single place. 15.747, same lap as Abel Santema, who in any way improves his own position. 15.6, Abel Santema is now in 8th. So Jack Campbell, 9th place for Sky Sim Sport in the Aston. And he still can improve, although Shea Sullivan is also improving. Now he's into Blanchimont. The majority of the drivers are off the lap. And Shea Sullivan can still sit in the top row. He does sit in the top row, but he just misses out on the first place. 15.2 for O'Sullivan. Jack Campbell completes the lap from 9th to 9th. He does improve, but he doesn't improve the position. He remains in 9th with 15.6. So this was our qualifying session for this evening. Our 39 drivers submitted their best qualifying laps as we go into the grid. I wonder if probably not. Maybe, just maybe, I can go here and see if it does work. Not sure. Oh, okay, no, wait, it was working. Apologies. So let me just... Here we are. Sammy Gaskell starts the race in position number 1 with Shea O'Sullivan following behind the car number 6. We've got Philip Minar in 3rd place. And George Boothby in the 255 competition by Ghost Up in car number 1 in 4th. Then we've got Grantas Caricas in 5th place, being followed by another Mustang without any surprise. That's Eric Delfante in the Energy Sim Racing. So not anymore in the Italian job. Change of team for the Italian. Sasha Wasner in 7th place is being followed by the first non-Mustang. Abbe Santema is in 8th place. We've got the Aston Martin with Jake Campbell driving it. And then another Mustang, but this time completing the top 10. That's Samir Foch in front of the Aston Martin Dynamic Motorsport by Kanichi. Tim Kruselberg is in 11th place. Michael Frey is now... Oh, apologies. Michael Frey is now in 12th place, being followed by You guessed it, another Mustang. This time it's Tobias Hogg in the Carbon Motorsport. Alexander Lubuslavski follows in 14th place with Eating Curbs Racing. Nirkasav is in the car number 19, position number 15. Following, it is an Aston Martin, it is a number 7 Dix Team Motorsport with Ian Rushell on the wheel. Samuel Tadic is in 17th place. The Ferrari is being followed by another Ferrari. Lawrence Van Rossem is in 18th place for Unicorn Racing number 16. Kevin Bellick, number 23 BMW. The Frenchman will start in 19th place. And then at the very end of the top 20, it is a Ferrari. It is another Italian. It is Gianluigi Guida. In car number 14, 20th place for him. Matthias Croce follows in 21st place with Porsche number 30. Colorworks Racing Team, Marcel No starts just behind Bogdan Ordase in 23rd place with Marcus Fox in the Racing Insights Up Aston Martin. And then 25th place for Michael Trzaskowski in the Minsk GP. Timur Akhmatov starts in the Sunset Outrun number 22 in 26th place. James Bludeman follows in the car number 31, 27th place for the German driver. Team Flag only in 28th, and he is in the top 10 in the championship. Artem Sekalovsky, number 36, starts in 29th place, followed by Kobe McVeigh in the car number 29 in 30th place. Milan Kiss, apologies, I messed up. Milan Kiss is in the car number 15, being followed by the car number 39, All Folk Motors. The Swedish driver will start in 32nd. Hans Meyer in the Apex Predator Sim Racing, a 33rd place for him. Azat Suleimanov, 28 in 44th place. Then there is another BMW, it's Willy Habold, the German, number 40, will start in 35th place. David Tepper, the German, for SL Racing Team, number 33, will start in 36th place. Artem Hagman will start for Carbon Motorsport in 37th place. Mario Hoffman, number 37, in 38th place for Colorworks Racing Team. And last place, Ernst Buitman in the Aston Martin, number 32. The Dutch driver will complete the grid as we go back at the very top of the grid in what is expected to be a great race. The first, the 20-minute race will be quite normal. It won't have any major difference from the usual. Race number 2 will be complete mayhem because it's the top 15 reversed and we are in Spa, so I expect a lot of overtakes for these drivers and a lot of trouble for many, because in the endurance we saw many incidents. So don't expect anything calm. Everything will go smoothly for the first 5 seconds, and then hell will be brought in Belgium. Well, it already is being brought, considering it's summer and it's very hot. But anyway, why was my voice so high pitched for a moment? It was odd. Anyway, Sam Gaskell will start the race in first, Joe Sullivan in second, Philip Miller in third, and George Wu in fourth, with Caracas in 5th place. What is expected here? Well, without any surprise, a Mustang will win. That's pretty obvious at this point, unless the entirety of the top 10 explodes. That's another way things can go. bad. As the first non-Mustang is currently Jack Humble in 9th place. Jack Humble in 9th place is the first non-Mustang. Apologies, it's Abe Santema. It's Abe Santema in the RFX Esports in the McLaren number 9. He will start in row number 4, just behind Sasha Fassner. Probably I will be the voice of the people. I think the Mustang needs some more BOP, because at this point it's just complete domination for the American brand. But we are very close to start our race. 39 drivers, although 40 were expected. So probably someone. It's already a DNF for whoever was in... I'm trying to search, I think it was 35 maybe? It was no, 45, it's in 44, okay, so I don't really know. But anyway, live steward is on, so if any major thing will pop up, we will know. NFA for some incident already in qualifying, so no penalties for the start. But we are now ready for the first of the two races, both in Spa, both with mayhem, and both probably with a Mustang on pole position. But we will see in the next 20 minutes how things will change. As we are waiting for the green light that appears on the screen just now. It's green light and away we go with a very nice start there by Phil Sullivan, already saved by side, a bit less by George Booby, who follows behind in single file. It's a bit wider for Phil Sullivan, as you can see, but it's there. Oh, there is a huge incident there, and Samir Porsche is off, and there is a mass crash. There is the big one is on. 20 cars probably being involved here. The big one is on after Samir Porsche went wide and sideways in the Rouge. So many, unfortunately, will not complete the race. Oh, there's another huge incident, and another car is off. This time it's a Mustang number 5. It is Philippe Minard off in Le Combe. There was another contact. Some more incident happens there. Now into Bruxelles. Single file for whoever survived the first moments of the race. We will see the replay afterwards. Both of the big one and with Philippe Minard going sideways in Le Combe. Sam Gastel already with a huge advantage over Sheo Sullivan by 8 tenths of a second in a single lap. Granted Caracas follows in 3rd, Josh Booby in 4th, and Abe Santema overtakes Tim Kruisenberg for 8th place. So he's back at the position he started from. But huge incident. We will probably see some penalties. Bumper cars. Pretty much it was. It wasn't a good look for the Pro Series. The big one always happens at least once every season. This time it was in Spa, not in Bathurst at least. As Abe Santema is just behind Jack Humble for 7th place. Into the bus stop, does he go for the dive bomb? He doesn't, he remains behind, follows closely. And it's a single file for the top 18, with James Bludeman being in 19th place, 6 seconds gapped. Everything goes smooth for now, although that's Jack Humble trying the inside line in Ariel Fante's place. That 6th place doesn't change. You can already see a car in the pits. We'll see the incident just now after the Camel Straight. Sasha Fassner also very close to Booby for 4th place, although I don't think the Mustang will be able to overtake the British driver. Can't say the same about the Fanta and the Humble, although they don't switch positions. and they remain one after the other. Oh, that was Alves and Tema going sideways into the comb. And there is also Matthias Kroos very close. And there is a free wide here with James Bludeman, Azat Salimov, and Philip Minar with the Mustang in the middle, making contact with the Ferrari. Trying to gain the spot, and that's 19th place for the Mustang driver that was involved in an early incident. Speaking of early incident, this is what happened early on to car number 5. So this was the incident. You can see from here, from the helicam, which is easier to follow through. So you can see side by side into the comb with what I think it was another car, and then a pit maneuver, which unfortunately put Minar off track. But the biggest one was here at the very beginning of the race. Let's see if I can pick at least one car. As you can see, this is the big one that involved several race cars. About, I can count 15, maybe even 20. It was all sparkled because of Samir Foch in the car number 10. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult to follow through. Maybe from here it's a bit easier. So yeah, you can see Samir Foch was involved in a slight tap from a Porsche, a Lime Porsche, that then went also sideways and involved the majority of the field in an incident. Samir Foch will now sits in the outskirts of the grid, all the way down in 36th place. As George Bouby is about to overtake Grantas Caracas. Into the outside he tries, but he remains behind, and Grantas Caracas manages to remain in third. Following, oh, there is another crash in Rouge. Willie Habold was involved. The car number 40. With the car number 13, 34 and 28. This is the replay of the incident. So what exactly happened to Habold? You can see from here. So he goes over the rouge. Oh, there is a car off! Oh, there is the Ferrari. That was a Ferrari getting involved. I think it was Azat Suleimanov in the middle of the way. It was already with a damaged car. I think he stumbled on the barriers going out of Rouge. So another few drivers getting a possible DNF. Willie Habold now in 27th, but into the pits. The cars involved were several. At this point I'm counting 12 that made a pit stop, but I don't know exactly who and how many were actually involved in the incident. I suppose 15 to 20. Now George Bouby is still trying to put the car in front. Sam Gaskell is currently second. Grantas Caracas is in third and defending against George Bouby, as you can see from these shots. With Sasha Wasner just behind. Following into Rouge. Trying to see if there is any penalty. Well, there is one, obviously. There's going to be one, obviously, but we'll see the stewards. Now George Bouby on the outside tries again the very same move on Grantas Caracas. This time around he goes in front for 2 seconds, but he can't really remain where he is. There is contact between Caracas and Bouby. And then it was Wasner trying to get in front of the duo, and by doing so he nearly got overtaken by the Italian Eric Del Fante, now also getting attacked by the Aston Martin behind in Bruxelles. The Energy Sim Racing is in 6th place, getting followed closely by Jack Humble in the Aston Martin number 17 with Aves Santana closing the train. There was also some more contact behind. It was Tobias Hall getting involved. You can see who was involved in a contact because of the little warning sign on the left of the tower. Tobias Hall for now remains in 11th place. This is another train that has been forming in the last laps. Tobias Hall, Kevin Bellic, Lawrence Van Rossem and Gianluigi Guida following in 14th place, all the way up from 20th, although it has to be said that many were involved in the big one. Only 26 drivers didn't go in the pits out of 39. That's a good chunk of the field, literally 33% of the field getting involved in the incident. As Lawrence, oh, there is another huge contact there is an incident, and the Mustang is off, and the Ferrari is off too, and that was the Italian, now in 15th place. What happened there to Tobias Hogg and Lawrence Van Rossem? There was an incident. We can quickly look at what happened. This is unfortunately not what I wanted to put. The control tool was very funny and just changed the car at the very last moment. Fantastic stuff. So this was the incident between Tobias Hogg and Lawrence Van Rossem. So what exactly happened here? As you can see, the Ferrari goes dive way too late into the brakes and goes for a pit maneuver on the Mustang that goes back on the throttle way too early and collides with Gianluigi Guida, who is now in front of Tobias Hogg, and the Italian is now back in 14th place. It is supposed to be as proceeded. Yeah, usually it's not so clumsy, I'll be honest. Usually it's way more clear and a lot is happening compared to the usual script. I didn't expect so many incidents so far, and the penalties will also be given accordingly. Although, oh, there is a stop and go 10-second penalty for I don't know yet. There is not the number. There was the number, but it has been deleted, so possibly it was a mistake on the number. As Hans Meyer is now in 21st place, overtaking his teammates, so possibly that's a team order for the cars in 20 and 21st and 22nd. That's another yellow flag. That is car number 40 out of the pits. So Tobias Hogg, you can see damage on the front end of the car for Tobias Hogg. So the contact with Ferrari wasn't really good, as he gets overtaken by Matthias Kroesche in the Blanchimont, and on the outside there is also Marcus Fox trying the outside. Oh, there is the Mustang off into the barrier. He goes off Blanchimont, and there is another contact. This time it is between the two Mustangs, Tobias Hogg and Bogdan Ordase colliding, and also between Ordase and Kroesche colliding, with the Porsche getting the better out of it. That's a lapped Porsche, actually. Oh, it's a car getting a lapped. That's the Porsche in, I'm not really sure which position, to be fair. As George Bouvier is still trying to get into 3rd place. On the outside he tries once more, but this time he makes the overtake on the outside. He takes the podium position. Can he keep it? That's the main question. Still high defense from Grandat Caracas, who manages to defend his own 3rd place and putting Sasha Vasner back on the offensive on Josh Bouvier, who cannot overtake easily the car in front. That's Grandat Caracas at this point, just battling for the podium, and that's also Eric Delfante trying onto the inside of Bruxelles. The Italian tried to get into 5th place, but he didn't manage to do so, and he goes back behind momentarily after going back side by side with Sasha Vasner for 5th place into Pujon. Can he make the overtake? No, he cannot. He remains behind, and Eric Delfante still getting followed closely by Jack Humble. Now, in terms of penalties, 10-second stop and go penalty for the car number 10. which was Samir Porsche, was actually deemed guilty of the big one, and he received a stop and go 10 seconds penalty as Jens Bludemann lost a position on team flag. Important for the championship, considering team flag is 8th in the championship. So Samir Porsche stop and go 10 second penalty for causing the big one. As you can see on the outside, he tries George Woodby once more, but this time on the bus stop, and probably completes the overtake. He goes over the main straight in third, but he is still on the outside on La Source, so it's not certain he will remain in third. Matter of fact, he's already back in fourth, trying to go for the cutback. He manages to do so and gains back third place. Grantas Caracas still in fourth, but this time he will probably remain in fourth unless he can get the offensive done in Lecombe. The car number 3 follows closely the car number 1, that's for third place, 6 seconds behind Shea O'Sullivan, who at this point already flew off into the distance, trying to overtake, or rather chase, Sam Gaskell. Now double side by side, that's Grantas Caracas on the outside and George Woodby on the inside, and that's Eric Elfante on the outside with Sasha Wagner on the inside. Side by side, double side by side, there is another car off, that's the car number 13 in Rouge Lyon. George Woodby still in third inside into Bruxelles. Eric Elfante tried to get the position done on the German driver. Sasha Wagner back in fifth, and that's again Jack Humble trying to get the overtake done on the Italian, who once more defends the inside, but this time on Jack Hicks' corner, or no name for the old guard fans, rather than drivers. Oh, there is a contact there, possibly, and that's Abe Santema overtaking Jack Humble. That was a contact, that was Eric Elfante colliding with someone else. I think that was Jack Humble, that lost their place on Abe Santema, and Team Kruselberg is in 9th place, following just behind. We can see back the situation, how it evolved with the replay. You can see here, in front is clear, there was some contact with Aston Martin on the left side. Oh yeah, there was contact with Aston Martin, who went then wide and got overtaken by Abe Santema. That's also apologies, that's Grantas Caracas and George Woodby still battling for third. This time George Woodby is the leader of the two. Grantas Caracas has to get creative. With such a fast just in the middle of sandwich. Jack Campbell still battling with Abe Santema. This time he goes on the outside, but he doesn't manage to take back his own place. It is a 7th place, although you can see the McLaren trying to defend the inside. Possibly was getting ready for a cutback, and that's all. There is contact on the Rouge. Abe Santema goes low, cuts Rouge, and that's Team Kruselberg getting 8th place. Late defense by Abe Santema, who doesn't manage to defend position number 8. More contact, but Jack Campbell is now back in 7th. Team Kruselberg is now in 8th place. Sasha Wagner was still trying to get the overtake done on Caracas, but Wagner remains in 5th for low fuel motorsport, as the Visa Rally Sport Mustang still follows the 255 competition by Go Setups. This is still going on with 3 minutes to go, and at the moment Marcus Fox is going to start from pole from 15th place, car number 27. In terms of penalty, something else appeared on the screen. Penalty for the car number 1. It was a 15-second time penalty for what happened early on. So George Woodby has a 15-second time penalty. 10-second time penalty for the car number 13. And that's it. And the car number 13 is... I can guess which one it is. It's not Rossem. It's the car number 13. I can't find it. I actually can't find it. Am I blind? I'm probably blind. Can't find the car number 13. Anyway, Now Santema back into Blanchimont. He has to try, because this is the last lap. In front of Tim Kruselberg, there is still Jack Humble for 7th place. So this is the battle. Sanel Tadic also gets involved with the discussions for position. I swear the car number 14 is not in the lobby anymore. 10-second time penalty, but I can't find it. Philip Minar is now in 16th place. Remember, Minar was involved in an incident with George Woofby, who unfortunately hit him. And unfortunately hit him because it's his teammate. So this was a disaster for the team. George Woofby was on the inside. Just lost the car and collided with his teammate. And now both will probably be out of the top 15. And if that's the case, it's going to be huge. Meanwhile, Santema here, still 9th place for him. Sam Gaskell leads the race easily. In the end, only 25 cars weren't involved in an incident. Or, even better, weren't involved in a critical incident, because that's a car that didn't go into the pits out of 39. So that's a lot of the field that was involved in a big one. I will try to show you a replay of the action from early on. The two major incidents at this point, or three rather. So no more penalties as it stands. There are still some contacts that have been investigated. I don't see any penalties so far. Sam Gaskell completes the first of the two races in Spa in the 4th week of the Case King Pro Series and wins the first 20 minutes. Joe Sullivan follows in second and another 7 seconds behind. Josh Woofby is momentarily in third, although Gantas Carikas will be the final podium sitter because Woofby has a 15 seconds time penalty. Santema will in the end arrive in 9th. Tov in front of Jalic Guida, and Marcus Fox will start the race in 15th. In 1st place after arriving 15th. So quick view at. In fact, I don't have it. I can see what happened in lap number 3. There was another incident here, so this is the replay between the car number 12 and 9. So this is the situation, how it evolved in 7th place. You can see a switch of positions with the McLaren and the Aston colliding, and the dynamic motorsport by Kalinic overtaking Ave Santema. That was for position number 8. So Marcus Fox will start in 1st. What happened to Philip Minar? Well, there was a contact between George Woofby in the car number 1 and Philip Minar in the comb in lap number 1. Minar completed the race 13 places down, and his teammate, after a 15-second time penalty, will complete the race in, as we are waiting for Ian Russell to arrive. But I suspect he will arrive maybe in the top 15. We'll see just now. The final car arrives and the race decides that it's not over yet, so I can't see the change. It will be quite useful to know where Woofby actually ends. I'm trying to go manually, so 0.4, 0.5, it's already 1 second, 2.5, another 4.5, let's say another 5.5. That's roughly, I think, ironically, he will end the race just behind the Minar. So maybe Fox will not actually be in pole position. Because depending on Bookby's penalty, he may actually be in pole. Probably. Although there has been a difference in... Oh, wait. Yeah, I do remember now. I think the 15 second... Yeah, okay, apologies. 15-second time penalty will be applied to race number 2. So the penalties are applied to race number 2 because of what happened in the last races. So this is the full grid. So we will have effectively Fox in pole position, and we will be given a 15-second time penalty for race number 2. Apologies for this mishap by me. I just remembered the very end of the race. So we can go in the results. So these were the cars arriving at the final lap of the 20 minutes. Sam Gasquet, Shea Sullivan, George Wolf in third. Marcus Fox will start the race in first place. And Philip Minar only 16th, so he will not start in pole, he will start in 16th place. That's the change between 2 places. That's also the wheel that at times spins badly for you. And then you can see several cars that were involved in an incident. Marcel No, Alexander Lubozowski, and I didn't pick in time whoever was behind. The car number 13 was Matthias Krosch. He was involved in an incident and he will be given a 10-second time penalty. Also 10-second time penalty for the car number 16. So it was Van Rossem that made a contact with Carbon Motorsport Mustang. He has also been given a 10-second time penalty. So for the next race, so race number 2, there are 4 penalties. A 10-second stop and go penalty for the car number 10 for the mass crash. Oh no, CC crashed. Fantastic stuff. We just go back on it. So we got a 10-second stop and go penalty for the big one for the car number 10. There is a 15-second time penalty for Josh Woofby in the car number 1. There is a 10-second time penalty for both car 13 and 16. So Van Rossem and Matthias Krosch. These are the penalties for the race number 2, which will start shortly. So I'm trying to get back in the lobby. That's not what I wanted to copy paste. We need to go here. As you are currently watching the results, which from the result again you can see that several cars completed the race 1 lap down. That's because a third of the field was involved in an incident, the big one in which Samir Foch is involved, or rather is penalized. Still there is no server because it starts at 21:05. And again, Fox will start the race in pole, being followed by Gianluigi Guida in 14th. So that's our first row. Possibly hoping for a normal second race. In the standings, I'm not sure if they are already updated with the last race. No, they are not. They are not yet updated. But again, if you didn't follow race number 1 or even the pre-race, and you are wondering why are these drivers battling so hard for 2 races, these are the prices for our drivers in the Pro Series, brought to you by Kiskin.de. Fanatec providing 2,500 euros cash for whoever arrives in first. An FGT Pro Bundle by Next Level Racing for the second placed driver, and PXN provides the final podium sitter with 1,000 euros cash for the third place driver, thanks to PXN. And if you're wondering what the next races are going to be, this is the calendar. We've got Barcelona, Red Bull Ring, Monza, Imola, Calami, Bathurst, Suzuka, and Nordschleife being the last round that is not a sprint race format weekend, so it's just a 90 minutes endurance. I would have liked to show you the incident, but unfortunately ACC crashed just when I was about to go there. As we go into, this is the split number 2, so split number 1 is not yet on. Possibly we still have to wait a tiny bit. It's odd, but it's 5 minutes of free parties, so possibly we still have to wait. Also remember that there is a pit window and a fixed refuel time in race number 2. They have to pit between the 35th and the 15th minute. They have to remain at least 25 seconds in the pits, so the majority will probably go for a full service, but still, if you feel fancy, you can go for just fuel. As I'm finding a bit of trouble to get into the second server because there is no second server yet. I wonder why. So let's see. Trying to understand the reason for it. It's very odd. Let me have a quick look if it's only me or if it is why can't I see the second server? Trying to solve. I'm trying to speak about things in the race, and solving technical issues is always a problem. Let me see if I maybe can because I see that German stream is actually having the second server. I am not having it, and I don't know why, which is a bit frustrating. To resolve here, which don't even have the connector, unfortunately. Let's try to get something done. Okay, and now it works. because we are now in the grid. So I can now see everything. Yeah, clear everything up, connect, and we are now in the server. Apologies for this brief trouble of mine. Oh, this is still not in broadcast mode. Apologies. Let me go here. Way better. So Marcus Fox will start the race in position number 1 as a car is not in the lobby anymore. And also my... Okay, no. It was the car in front of Santema. Or maybe something glitched out. But I saw there was a blank spot. Yeah, you can see there is a blank spot in the grid. Can't see which one is missing. Trying to... Yeah, you can see a couple of cars are missing right now. Samir Porsche is in 29th. Yes, someone is clearly missing from it, even because it's only 44 teams. Let me see just one thing quickly. Undergoing every single possible issue that could be there. Okay, now I'm back in business, as in everything is going on. And for whoever is wondering what was wrong in my procedure, I simply missed a number. That's how things went. So Marcus Fox will start the race in... let's see if this works. Probably not, because this is still... yeah, in fact. This is because of race number 1, so we'll go with the usual. Marcus Fox will start the race in the lead, just in front of Gianluigi Guida. Lorenz Van Rossem, 3rd place, but he has a 10-second time penalty. Kevin Bellick in 4th place, with Samuel Tadic in 5th. Abe Santemo will start the race in 6th, in front of Tim Gruselberg and Jack Humble in 8th place. Eddie Del Fante will start the race in 9th place, with Sasha Wasner in 10th. Grantas Caracas in 11th place. Josh Woolby, although with a 15-second time penalty, will start the race in 12th. Shea Sullivan in 13th, Sam Gaskell in 14th, and Philip Minar is now in 15th place. After arriving 16th. So clearly lost someone. Just can't see... I just can't remember who. Exactly. Should see from the standings in race number 1. Bogdan Ordache is in 16th place, with Tobias Hogg in 17th, Jens Nilsson in 18th place, with Hans Meyer in 19th place. Team Flag will start the race in 20th place, Mario Hoffman in 21st, Ernst Butman in 22nd, Jens Pludeman in 23rd, Hartem Hagman in 24th place, with Marcel No, let me go here, Marcel No in 25th, Alexander Luboslavski in 26th, Nir Kasav in 27th, Artem Sterkalovsky in 28th, Milan Kis in 29th, David Teppa in 30th, Michael Targezvitsky, I destroyed this name, apologies, in 31st, Samir Foch only 32nd, and with a stop and go 10-second time penalty. Ian Ruschel in 33rd, Kobe McVeigh in 44th, Willie Hubbold in 45th, Azat Suleimanov in 36th, and Michael Frey in 37th place. I'm intending to see who is missing. Let me just quick look. So, recent sessions, show results. This is a fastest way I know. So we've got Barrosom is there. Oh, Rakhmatov. So Timur Rakhmatov is not in the race anymore. Yeah, Rakhmatov is not in the race anymore. And he was starting in third, technically. But now Lawrence Barrosom is in front. And in third, obviously. So that's the car is missing. The car number 22, position number 13. We've got more missing cars. There's still 2 more missing cars. Trying to see, we've got Fabian Buresh is also not starting the race. And trying to search for the third driver, it's a bit difficult right now. But he was certainly outside the top 16. There's Pluderman is still there, Hagman also there, Marcel no. I can't find the third unknown driver that is not in the race anymore. I probably... Oh, I found him! Matis Kroche! The car number 13 is also not going to start the race. So, Fabian Buresh, Matis Kroche, and third place starter, Timur Rakhmatov, are not going to start the race. So that's our question mark resolved. Marcus Fox, pole sitter in Aston Martin, will be ahead of Gianluigi Guida and effectively Kevin Bellick, since Barrosom has to sit in the pits for 15 more seconds. Having a look at... oh, there is another penalty that has just arrived. It's a 5-second time penalty for not holding the brakes and causing a collision for the car number 21. So, Tobias Hogg has just received a 5-second time penalty. The number of cars just raised to 4, with apology to 5. And I can see that is the final rule. So we got 5 cars being penalized for the second race, which will start just now. Now we are into Pujon for some, but into campus for many other. Moreover, the first Ford Mustang is Eric Delfante in 9th place for Energy Sim Racing. And then there is obviously the river of Mustangs. Again, if you haven't seen race number 1, you can see the Minar is in 15th, but he didn't win the race. He was actually in 16th. That's because we lost Rakhmatov, who arrived in 13th the race earlier, but he's not in this race now, so he will not start in 3rd. And Lawrence Barrosom took his place, who himself has a 15-second time penalty. So, not a 15, a 10-second time penalty. So, in the end, Kevin Bellick is technically in 3rd. Now, Marcus Fox will do everything in his power to remain in this position, very likely. And I suspect Sam Gaskell will do everything in his power to be in 1st by the end of the 40 minutes. Josh Wolfby, for him, this is going to be a very long race. He will start in 12th place, but after making a collision with his teammate, now in 15th, he has a 15-second time penalty. So I doubt we will see him winning this race. Okay, let's be real, it's straight up impossible with a 15-second time penalty in 40 minutes of race starting from 12. But soon we will start race number 2 of the 4th week of the KSking.de Pro Series. And if you didn't have enough action in the first 20 minutes, be ready for the next 40, as Marcus Fox will take the green flag first into the endurance start, as we are just now seconds away from the green light. The green light, and away we go. That was a bit of a slow start by the pole sitter as he gets overtaken by the Italian. Gianluigi Guida is on the outside of Ferruccio. Oh, there is another contact this time. It is between Kevin Bellic and Loren Van Rossum, who went on the outside. There is a freeway into the camera straight. That's a free wide between, or rather among, Kevin Bellic, Samuel Tadic and Abe Santema, who is now in 3rd place after a bump draft by Jack Humble. And on the outside he goes and he takes 3rd place. No, maybe not, because Samuel Tadic is still there and he takes back 3rd place. There is still Kevin Bellic and Jack Humble battling for 5th place. The car number 17 is still in 5th, but he's on the outside of Bruxelles and in front of Eric Del Fante, and that's Kevin Bellic that in the end will remain in 5th place. More contact behind as Josh Woofby battling with Shea O'Sullivan. On the outside he tries Shea O'Sullivan to defend, but he didn't defend well, and he is now behind Josh Woofby. Kieselberg is now in 10th place. There is more contact behind. It's Shea O'Sullivan and Sam Gaskell battling for 12th place, with the Visceral Sport Mustang with the red, white and black accents in 12th place in front of Sam Gaskell. Now back into the lead, or rather the former leader, as Marcus Fox is now in 2nd place, with Gianluigi Guida now leading the race after a nice overtake. The very first couple hundred meters, gaining the position as early as possible, and now leading the race. Now back behind, because Sam Gaskell still battling, this time with Shea O'Sullivan. In Blanchimont, and there is also George Woofy with Team Kruiselberg, with George Woofy going wide, going out, and he's out in the bus stop after a contact with Team Kruiselberg, as Kevin Bellic lost the place on both Eric Del Fante and Grantas Caracas, so he's now in 8th place. As there is another overtake behind, that's Tobias Hogg, apologies, that's George Woofy getting hand-to-hand with Hans Meyer. Hans Meyer on the inside, he tries to get the position down on Josh Woofby. Into Rouge he goes, but Josh Woofby is in 15th now. Marcus Fox is still not over with it, he's very close to Gianluigi Guida. Milan Key is currently having the fastest lap of the race, but that's pretty useless right now. Marcus Fox on the inside, he thinks, oh, there is also Abe Santema, you can see from the mirror, you could see, oh, there is a car off, and that's Samuel Tadic off into the barriers. Off into the barriers, that's Samuel Tadic. There is another car off, that was Hans Meyer. And George Woofby making contact. I'd like to see that again, because the two made contact, and I wouldn't be surprised if something happened between the two that could lead to a penalty. But we have to see back what happened at the very start of the race. No, okay, it's impossible to see what happened at the very start of the race, unfortunately. But you can see back what happened to the car number 2 right now. This is the incident that happened between the car number 2 and... oh no, apologies, that's... ah yeah, you can see it was the McLaren actually going way too... apologies, that's what Josh Woofy getting involved. McLaren going a bit overconfident and making contact with George Woofy. Abe Santema is now in 2nd place after making contact with Marcus Fox, so we'll see the incident afterwards. But Abe Santema is now in 2nd place. Can Jack Humble get the 2nd place? Oh, that's also Eric Del Fante trying to get the outside line, which becomes now the inside line after changing idea. Side by side, no contact between the two. There is a huge pack of cars behind also trying to gain position, so you can see from here. But Grantas Caracas still trying also on Eric Del Fante, but no change of position here. Can say the same about what happens behind with Sasha Fasner on the inside of Kevin Bellick, and that's 6th place for Sasha Fasner with the car number 23. In 7th place now, Sheo Sullivan making contact with possibly Sam Gaskell or Tim Kreuzelberg. At this point it's very hard to decipher who is making contact with who, as much is happening right now. And Philip Minard is also now in 11th place after overtaking Marcus Fox for position. Kevin Bellick still not over with it. He tries again with Sasha Fasner to gain back the place. He tries on the outside, but by doing so he actually gives an opportunity to Tim Kreuzelberg, who is now on the outside making contact with Kevin Bellick, losing the position on Kevin Bellick, and Sheo Sullivan tries on the outside, going over the gravel, losing momentum and losing the position on Sam Gaskell, who is now in 9th place into Bruxelles. Still not over yet. Oh, actually it is over, because Sam Gaskell is now effectively in 9th place. Sheo Sullivan lost the place after trying an overtake on the Aston Martin. He is now in 10th. Philip Minard follows just behind. There was a contact between Ave Santem in the car number 9 and former pole sitter Marcus Fox in the car number 27. The car number 9 was involved early on. This is what happened between the two. You can see from here. So this is the battle for 2nd place. Was it a contact? That was probably a contact. Wait a section, that's something going a bit wide. Then there was contact. Oh, and yeah, that was Dawson getting sent into the gravel, which then lost momentum and positions. Now back into 10th. This was actually for 8th place at this point, because look at what happens behind Tim Kreuzelberg. Oh, and actually a lot is happening. Tim Kreuzelberg has to defend against Sam Gaskell, who is now into the inside. Can he make the position in the bus stop? Yes, he does. He does make the position. Done. He overtakes Kreuzelberg, and Sam Gaskell is now in 8th. Kreuzelberg goes, oh, there's a 4 wide outside the bus stop chicane, then becomes a 3 wide, and then a side by side with Tim Kreuzelberg now in 12th place, with Sheo Sullivan now in 9th place. And there is an overtake between Minard and I think that's Boofby getting the position done. Although remember, Boofby has a penalty, so I'm not sure why Boofby is actually battling so hard with his teammate. Team Flag is now in 15th place after Lawrence Van Rossem also overtook Bogdan Ordais for position. Minard still behind his teammate. We can go on board with Philip Minard, who started the race from 15th place. There's some bump draft from behind. That's Tobias Hogg in the mirror. But the two didn't change places at the end of the Camel Straight. So George Boofby remains at the outskirts of the top 10, or rather literally being the outskirts of the top 10, considering he's in 10th. There is another yellow flag, and this time it's another car. It's again Sanel Tadic getting involved in an incident. The car number 18 and the car number 34, Bogdan Ordais, and Tadic. Sanel Tadic once more in Lecombe, but this time it was aided. You can see the Ferrari and the Mustang colliding, and it was a collision between the two that led to both drivers sideways in both parts of the racetrack, both outside the racing line. Luckily, it was a contact with the Mustang that tried to go on the outside, made the contact on the second turn of the free of Lecombe with the right rear quarter panel of the white Ferrari. Now Eric Del Fante is still in 4th. Eric Del Fante battling with Jack Humble for 3rd place, and the pit lane will be open shortly. Warning for car number 44 for avoidable contact on lap number 1. This is the only penalty so far. Samir Foch is now in front of Jans Nilsson for 17th place. Now, Eric Del Fante on the inside of La Source. That's on Jack Campbell for 3rd place. Although there is some contact there, you can see clearly Jack Campbell still battling with the Italian driver. The Aston Martin has a better acceleration out of La Source, but Eric Del Fante has the better line, and that's Jack Campbell going back behind Del Fante. Now, can Jack Campbell get back in front of the Energy Mustang is actually getting overtaken by Grandes Caracas for 4th place. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's actually Jack Campbell going for the overtake on the Energy Mustang. He tries on the outside, just on the edge of the track limits, but Campbell remains in 4th without managing to overtake the car in front. Maybe something different happens here after Abel Santema closed the gap to Gianluigi Guida. He now leads the race, but since the Italian driver in the car number 14 is in huge trouble with Abel Santema lapping quicker. 16.4 in the last lap for Santema, 16.6 in clean air for Guida in the Ferrari 14. Back behind, that's Caracas, Humble, and now Sasha Wasner battling for 4th place, in which Humble sits currently, but maybe not so far. Oh, there is a battle between the two. Who will be in front? As you can see, Humble and Caracas making contact. Oh, more contact between the two. Humble sits on the outside now of the right-hander, and Humble is now in 5th place. After getting overtaken by Grandes Caracas, who jumped 6 places since the start of the race. He was in 10th at the very beginning of race number 2. He is now in 4th with a second and a half to go to get into the podium. Abel Santema going on the outside. Can he make the move on the outside of the bus stop into the Italian driver who sits on the inside, which then becomes the outside. Joe Sullivan also overtakes Kevin Bellick for 8th place. Abel Santema couldn't overtake Guida, and Del Fante also closed the gap to Santema. He is technically in the fight for 1st, and apologies, and Guida is following nobody, actually Santema is following Guida, that's what I wanted to say, and Del Fante, you can see his Mustang closely following the McLaren on the slipstream. He exits the slipstream. It's a free wide into Lecombe, which then becomes a 2 wide once more. But this doesn't change. Actually, it does change on the outside. He tries. That's again another free wide that was about to being commenced. But Santema remains in 2nd, Guidas remains in 1st, and Del Fante can't really make a move because it was way too confused. It was way too risky to make a lunge into the... Well, to be fair, inside or outside at that point. It was equally dangerous. There was also another overtake to Sam Gaskell overtaking Sasha Wasner. 6th place. I also just now understood the pun on stay humble. Yeah, okay. It took me a while, I'll be honest. Speaking of which, he is now in 5th with Sam Gaskell just behind, following in 6th place. Penalty check. Still only a warning on the wall of shame. So no new penalties have been put in place. Santema now back in action. Can he make the move this time around? No, he cannot. He remains in 2nd. Oh, maybe not, because the Luigi Guida just went... Oh, that's why. Because some drivers are going into the pits. Santema is the first to get the pit limiter on. Or actually, no, he wasn't. It was Ian Russell in 34th place. But he is the first of the top 10 to get into the pits. Sasha Wasner, contact with Joe Sullivan. So what just happened there between the two? So the car number 8 and the car number 6. So was it an incident of some sort? I guess it was. Slight tap. Nothing too broady. So we go back live. As there is now the overtake, and Joe Sullivan is now in 5th place. with Wasner now following in 6th. Gaskell still following Humble, now in 3rd, but remember some of the drivers went into the pits. And now Caracas is battling with Guida. Let's Gaskell into the inside of Campos. Humble tries to defend. Oh, there is a little tap. There is the gravel for Gaskell. And both drivers lost time on Caracas. As Phil Sullivan now is inside the battle for 3rd. Weiss in the lead. The Luigi Guida is in slight trouble. Will Caracas go into the pits? As he goes on the outside. So possibly, no, he will not. He goes into the inside, and that's Grantas Caracas making the move for 1st place in the bus stop chicane, and many others are going into the pits. Oh, Guida going for the dive bomb. Way too late. And that was Caracas waiting for him and going for the cutback. So Guida bit through potentials into turn 1. And now he's back in 2nd, but this is the Camel Straight. Will he be able to make it back in front of Caracas? He probably knows he isn't really one of the favorites for the race win, but he certainly wants to fight his way. He's not letting him go so easily, which is respectable, since we saw many drivers actually gifting positions without really battling. As Marcus Fox goes on the outside and takes the place in front of Lawrence Van Rossem into Lecombe. Will he remain there? He for now remains there. You can see now 3 wide into Bruxelles, which then becomes a side-by-side as Samir Porsche goes now in 9th place in front of Van Rossem, with Team Flag following in 11th. Sam Gaskell also still battling with Humble. And in the backyard of the field, I can tell you, Eric Del Fante is in front of Amber Santema after not changing tires. Yeah, Russia also didn't change tires. So it's going to be quite the tactic there. Not much is happening right now. So Shea Sullivan is the first to come out of the pits. No change of tires for him. That's also Del Fante coming out of the pits. In the Visceral Esports, Shea Sullivan loses the spot on Del Fante, who leads the way in the Camel Straight. Sasha Vazen also out of the pits, but behind Abe Santema. George Boothby follows behind him. Kim Krutelberg in 31st place, but behind Boothby. Tevin Gaskell into the pits. Minard also follows, and Hogg completes the little train into the pits. Milan Kissa joins, and Samir Foch tries once more the overtake on Marcus Fox. It's going to be quite interesting. The tactic is quite different. We've got Del Fante and O'Sullivan in front of Santema, but both without new tires. Sasha Fasner follows in technically 4th of the cars that have pitted. Samir Foch is now very much going to put the overtake forward, as also Jack Humble is into the inside. Can he make the overtake in front of Gianluigi Guida, still defending into the comb, side by side, still going on at the 3rd of the 3 turns. Oh, that's Humble losing the rear a tiny bit more, but he's on the inside of Bruxelles and he remains in 2nd. Caracas is another 2 seconds in front, but Guida now in 3rd. Behind, Samir Foch managed to get the overtake done in front of Fox, and Van Rossem still battling with Fox. But remember, Both drivers, Van Rossem and Foch, have a penalty. Foch with a 10-second stop and go. Van Rossem with... Wait, was it a stop and go? I don't think it was just a... Yeah, stop and go penalty. But he still didn't stop for 10 seconds, so... Not sure why Foch's penalty isn't being applied right now. Oh wait, I do remember now. So yeah, it's because it's applied for the race 1 results only. So yeah, huge apologies. It's like I read wrongfully the way penalties were applied for this round. Huge apologies. Oh, that's the Mustang off. That George will be off. Contact with Philip Minar once more. As Marcus Fox is now out of the pits. And it was a contact between Minar and Booby. So we can see once more what happened exactly between the two. You can see from here we are into Bruxelles. You can see a little tap between the number 5 and the number 1. Jack Campbell leads the race, but for the next 18 minutes, maybe it will change. Probably it will. Obviously, it will change. So Elefante now technically first, no, not even, because no, it was a drive-through for track limits for Sekalovsky. So Delfante technically leads the way for the car that didn't pit yet, as Sasha Wasner gets overtaken by Sam Gaskell for position number 17 overall. Luigi Guida now in 19th, in the middle of the sandwich between Bufby and Wasner. Bufby goes on the inside of Pujon. Now on the outside of Guida, that's Bufby making the overtake. Making it seem easy, but actually it was a pretty good one. And Minard follows, also going on the outside and overtaking Gianluigi Guida, now in 20th place. Jens Nilsson, now the only car still out that also didn't pit, as Jack Campbell is into the pits, and this means that Jens Nilsson will be the very last car to pit. The question is, will Delfante overtake everyone? And the answer is yes, he does overtake everyone. Delphante is now leading the race. But just barely in front of Shio Sullivan and Abe Santema, who is now about to overtake O'Sullivan with newer tires. This is the difference between new and old tires. And Santema is now in third place overall, or effectively second of the cars that pitted, so everyone, bar the leader, Jens Nilsson. In terms of penalties, there have been a good chunk of penalties that have been given. A 10-second time penalty for the car number 40, Willie Hubble. Bogdan Nordais, 15-second time penalty for causing a collision. 5-second time penalty for the car number 38, Michael Tagatevsky, for causing a collision with car number 28. These are the current penalties for the race. Okay, Santema defend. Well, defend is pretty straightforward. The answer is yes. But can he attack Delphante? That's the main question. He has 13 minutes to go. Shio Sullivan at this point is not really an issue anymore, as George Booby and Philip Minar are being a bit too aggressive, maybe on Kevin Bellick. With Sam Gaskell setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Philip Minar now overtakes Kevin Bellick. Although again, it was maybe a bit too aggressive. Look at this. Look at how it happened. So it was first the overtake from his teammate on the inside. He then tried to follow. Didn't really make it clean. And had to use the BMW as a bit of a cushion. So Gaskell and Sasha Wasner still battling for position. Gaskell in 6th, Wasner in 7th. As Jens Nilsson finally heads for the pit. Suspect he will not change tires at this point, and so Eric Delphante effectively becomes the leader of the race. With 12 minutes to go. Although Santema is getting close. 15.997 for Santema. Last lap for Delphante, 16.7. I'm not sure not changing tires was the best idea, considering Delphante was battling with Santema early on. The same strategy was applied in Watkins Glen early in the season, and once more he's having trouble on maintaining the strategy alive. Although Sullivan, at this point, I think he's using Santema as a draft more than anything else. Possibly Delphante could risk losing not only Santema's place, which will get ahead of him, but even having O'Sullivan and Caracas maybe in front towards the end of the race, as Jens Nilsson will get overtaken by everyone else. You can see the train that is getting quite popular. It was early on only a faint train of first 3 drivers. And now even Sam Gaskin and Sasha Foster are approaching a possible battle for the lead in the final 10 minutes. This could all go bad for some, or it could be paradise for many others. Van Rossem lost 13 places since the start of the race, as he started the race in 3rd. The window is now closed, but everyone had their pit stops. Humble having a good 7th place so far. Keep the car in front of George Booby and Philip Minar. Five-second time penalty for car number 38 for causing a collision with the car number 35. As Grantas Caricas, this point, advancing quickly and going for the overtake on Shea O'Sullivan, and that's the battle for 3rd evolving, and he gets in front of his teammate. So Shea O'Sullivan now in 4th place, Grantas Caricas in 3rd, and Abe Santema. Look at this, it is very close now. 16.3 it was the last lap for Santema. Quite different for Del Fante, 16.7. Samir Foch and Tobias Hogg still battling. Also there was a contact between the two. Car number 10 has been involved in an incident. We'll see the replay afterwards. Because now there is the camera stage, and also there could be an answer from Tobias Hogg. But still in front, we can see the possible switch for the lead as Abe Santema gets in the lead, and he now sits 1st. The McLaren in Spa, car number 9 is leading the field, with the fact that they didn't really put any aggressive defensive move. And Grantas Caricas is now the next one in line to take Del Fante's place. And this could help O'Sullivan massively. So this was the incident between Samir Foch and Tobias Hogg in the bus stop chicane. So we can see how it happened. With Samir Foch on the outside. Then a bit more than a slight tap. Yeah, that was definitely a bit more than a slight tap. As now Grantas Caricas gets the overtake done in Blanchimont. Can he make the overtake even before Blanchimont? No, he actually cannot, because he sits on the outside, so he has to stay behind. He will have another shot into the bus stop chicane. Del Fante is defending hard into the inside now. Now back into the outside, now back into the racing line rather. And Del Fante remains in 2nd for now, but this is actually helping Shea O'Sullivan and Sam Gaskell. This could be the podium position gone for the Italian driver driving for Energy Sim Racing. Now back into the wing. It's the Italian, remember, he didn't change tires, and the same strategy has been applied to O'Sullivan's car. So both the number 6 and number 4 didn't change tires. Santema and Caricas did. Del Fante's defense is just helping Santema, trying to get the lead a bit more large, a tiny bit more large. Although Caricas will get closer very quickly. Santema is now being followed by Caricas and not Del Fante anymore. As Josh Booby and Philip Minar, so some more contact for them. McLaren is OP. Yes, that's always been a bit OP. It is just a very good car overall. That's the thing. The Mustang is actually quite good, but for other reasons. So now Del Fante still defending. At this point, his whole race is about defending. The next 5 minutes are going to count massively because his podium position may disappear. Sullivan and Sam Gaskell now battling for 4th. Sullivan was early on getting on for 3rd, but remember Sullivan's tyres also aren't pretty good, as they are nearly 40 minutes old. There's a yellow flag in the background, there's a cut-off, that's David Tepper. We yellow flag, and that's the overtake for... Oh, nearly contact between Sam Gaskell and Del Fante, but that's actually contact between O'Sullivan and Gaskell, with O'Sullivan losing the place on Gaskell. And that's 4th place for the car number 2. And Sasha Wasner is also now very close to O'Sullivan, as the LFM car could get in front of O'Sullivan. Is also you could briefly see Caricas very close to Santema. That could be the overtake for the race win. With 3 minutes to go on the timer. Oh, the curb, Wasner with way more grip than O'Sullivan. And now we are getting into a bit of a tricky phase. So another car is off. Oh, that's Jens Kludman off in a rear unit with immense damage in the front of the car. So we can see what happened here. Now there is a bit of a moment of calmness. So this was the incident between David Tepper and supposedly Aston Martin. So you can see here. Oh, there was a tap. There was a tap, and then there was the Ferrari off track. Back into the battle for 1st place. Grantas Caracas and Abe Santema, car number 3 on the charge. The car number 9 is the McLaren. Santema still defends. And there can't be an overtake here for 1st. Still 2 laps to go. Barely 2 laps to go. Maybe even not 2 laps to go. Oh, okay, yeah, white flag. White flag, certainly white flag, because we have 2 minutes and 15 to go, and that's the move into turn 1. Slight tap probably between Caracas and Santema. No, there wasn't any contact between the two. Caracas still remains in 2nd place. Santema still leads the way. This is the last time they will approach the Camel Straight. And this is very close between Santema and Caracas. Can Santema be the underdog here and win the race in front of the Mustang? Or will Caracas just deliver the usual Mustang win? So McLaren still trying to grip on the outside. The free is still on the outside. Now as he goes on the AstroTurf, a bit of a loss of traction for Caracas. That's Santema still on the inside of Bruxelles. This is just helping Del Fante having maybe a bit of a chance still to win, because something could still happen between the two. They are still side by side into no name, and that's Caracas getting the lead of the race, with Santema following in 2nd, Del Fante still in 3rd, but I can't say if he will remain in 3rd place, or Sam Gaskell will get the chance to get the overtake done on the Italian driver at the very final lap of the race. The top 4 being gapped by literally 1.1 seconds as it stands. Caracas with a huge gap already. Possibly that's Antema Stars that gave up. That's Gaskell still trying to get the overtake done on Delfante. This is for the podium position. This is for third. There is still some contact between the Italian and Delfante. Apologies. Between the Italian and Gaskell. With Gaskell going on the inside of the bus stop. Going for the dive. Into the inside he goes. And that's the podium position. And there is also more contact between O'Sullivan and Sasha Wagner. And that's Caracas winning the race. Number 2 of the 4th week in Spa. Besantema and Sam Gaskell completing the podium. Eric Delfante in 4th. And Shea O'Sullivan and Sasha Wagner 5th and 6th place for them, with Jack Humble in 7th, Josh Buffy completing the race in 8th, Philip Minar in 9th, and Kevin Berrick in 10th place in the car number 23. Huge things happened the very tail end of the race. Let's have a better look at what just happened. In the top 6, so this is the overtake for position as Gaskell threw the car into the inside line, and there was also some contact between the two here as O'Sullivan in the visceral car kept the position in front of Wagner. There was also some more trouble behind. There was this incident between the car number 30 and 35. As you can see here, there was also a 10-second penalty for the car number 38. I think I already mentioned that one there. So this is the incident. No, possibly no, that's not the incident I wanted to pinpoint. I think this is the incident I wanted to put forward. No, not yet, not even. I'm trying to find what happened to the car number 41. Into the Eau Rouge, which was an immense incident. I'd like to see again. So yeah, here we are into Eau Rouge de Lyon, as we are now going to get the interview from the top 3. As you can see, Sav and one of the Porsches. Oh, that's and that's the mechanic just going into the barrier on itself, crashing the car into the barriers. So you can go into the replay to get a better view of the top cars. Huge incident there. But these are the results of the second race in Spa. No, these aren't. It's just a refresh. That's possibly going to take a bit. Let me just further along. So welcome to all the German people that came in here. We will obviously start with wait, let me check, because there was a penalty. There was a penalty for the car number 2. So Sam Gaskell actually is 4th. 5-second time penalty that has been just applied for an incident with the car number 6. So Shea O'Sullivan. So Delfante actually is in the podium. That's a bit of a last moment one. So yeah, in the end, we will get the Italian back in the... Let me just get here. I was already getting ready for Gaskell, but it's actually going to be Delfante in the podium. So we'll go into the interview room, and as a matter of fact, I can already see him here in 3rd place. So welcome again in the commentary booth. And I just noticed the very late the very late penalty on your opponent, and now you are in third place. Yeah, that's a good reason for it. But welcome in the race. Welcome in the commentary booth. And in the race, you applied once more the not changing tire strategy, and this time around it wasn't so good compared to Watkins Glen. You nearly lost the podium.
Yeah, I think I pitted too early because I had only one car in front, the Ferrari. I had two overtakes, so yeah, I think a bit too early. If I pit like 3-4 laps later, also with not changing tires, I think I had more chances to win the race. But yeah, in the lap I pit, it was better to change, like we saw with McLaren.
Yeah, you were effectively defending as hard as possible against the cars with newer tires. And for once, we finally had a good fight between a Mustang and a non-Mustang. Which were the major differences between the two cars?
I think they are pretty similar in this track because the McLaren also was very low wing, so it's similar in all the three sectors. And I think also especially in the first sector, the Ford is a bit slower with the restrictor. I saw when he overtook me and also when he overtook O'Sullivan. But I think they are pretty similar. Of course, the McLaren is more agile. Maybe is better in fast corners, but and the Ford is better in like long straights and medium speed corner. But yeah, I think pretty similar.
And final question. I noticed I probably should have asked this question the last time we heard each other, but I noticed you changed colors. So how is it going with the new jersey?
At the moment, it's everything pretty new, so to see a little bit more. But for now, everything fine, everything good. I feel good with the new team, and also thanks to them for these races for this evening. And yeah, we hope I hope I can do a step forward with them and in the next races.
Okay, thank you, Eric, for your time, and well, enjoy the very late podium because
Thank you so much.
250 meters earlier it was not a podium, and then it became one. So
yeah, but I thought the race was going to end after 250 meters at the start, so I think it's a good result.
yeah, definitely. Have a good remaining of the evening.
Thank you.
So that was Eric Delfante, our third place finisher. As we go now with our second place finisher. Obviously, I'm going to do this in the most discreet way possible. So you are now looking at the standings, but in the meantime, I'll just change view of the car. As we are now with Aves and Tema that managed in the car number 9 to get into second place. So welcome Abe to the commentary room.
Hello.
And
Thank you for having me.
It was a nice race. I will give you that. It was a very nice race. And you are in a non-Mustang in the podium. How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm just super happy. I think this race basically just went perfect for me from P6 to P2. I'm just very happy. I don't think there could have been any more in this for me in this race.
And how was it battling against the top car with your McLaren?
I mean, the top speed was very good for the McLaren in this race, but it was just the brakes. I just I tried to give it all on the last lap, but I just couldn't. I couldn't compete against the brake pressure or the brake power from the Ford. Uh, yeah, they are brake so much that the mid corner speed doesn't really matter even anymore.
And final question: you tried to battle for the lead, but unfortunately you just missed out on the very last lap. How did it happen exactly?
I mean, to be honest, Caracas was just very fast. He just had a lot more pace than me, and it was nice for the people that didn't change their tires to let us pass like pretty easily. But Caracas just closed the gap, to be honest, and I couldn't really do anything against it.
Yeah, I was on your same strategy of a new set of tires, since the only two cars that didn't change tires in the top 5 were Delfante and O'Sullivan, if I remember correctly. So it was
I think so.
Yeah, I can confirm it was O'Sullivan and Delfante, the only two in the top. Actually, in the top to get to the next carriage didn't change tires. We have to get into 18th place. So in the end, you were on the usual strategy, let's say, and you nearly won. It was still a podium, so I think it was a pretty good results at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really ask for more. I should like if it would be a normal race, I would never fight for a podium. So I'm just super happy to with the reverse grid even be able to and to make it happen. I mean, I still need to have a little bit of pace, but the pace of the other guys is just insane.
So yeah, thank you, Abby, to have given us an interview about your race, and well, I hope you get more podiums in the remaining of the season.
I'll try to.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
That was Abby Santema driving for Ferox. Ma poi Ferox. Every time I read the P as an F and vice versa. As we now go with our race winner, who managed to get the very lead of the race at the very final corners, effectively. It was the final lap, but it was very close to being second place. But Grantas Caracas is now here. Welcome in the commentary room, and congratulations for the win.
Thank you so much.
So how was it going from 10th, from 10th to 1st, all the way from the very tail end of the top 10 to the very top of the top end?
Yeah, it was amazing. Definitely did not expect a race like that and finish P1 after starting from like what P10, P11. So yeah, it was amazing. I was struggling a bit for pace, so didn't really expect to have such a result and didn't have too many sort of goals for that race, just to try and stay out of trouble and not get penalties. And that did start very well. First few laps overtook quite a few amount of cars, but my rivals kind of fall back behind few positions. They were fighting a lot more with others, so it kind of helped me. I was also a bit lucky, but also I was in the right moment at the right time. And yeah, I mean, did the overcuts, and then obviously had really good tires in the second stint. Had amazing pace to overtake everyone that was left in front of me, and yeah, finished P1 just about.
And in the Mustang, I suspect, I already know the answer, but what really helped you making overtakes left and right?
Well, also obviously the pace advantage on other cars, and I mean Ford wasn't that fast on the straight. Like it wasn't that it was slower actually than few cars like Ferrari, Aston Martin, McLaren, BMW, and yeah, if not more. So it was quite tough actually. But if you can get a good exit, which Mustang I think has a pretty good acceleration and has very good. It's very good in corners actually. It was gaining a lot of time on others in corners, so I know I managed to stick right behind them before the straight and mostly overtake or just send it somewhere in like turn 1 or last corner. So yeah, that definitely helps, even though it didn't have as good of a straight line speed as it usually has.
And final question: considering what happened in the first race, you started from 10th. Around 10th place in the race number 1, the big one happened. So were you scared to start in 10th place, or were you just slightly nervous, let's say?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's always you always want to start as far in front as possible. So yeah, starting around P10, it's never ideal, but I mean everyone was very clean at the front, so I was really happy about the standards of racing. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I was a bit lucky in some stations, but in some stations I also did very good moves and was at the right place at the right time. So yeah, I mean, as I said, I was a bit scared at the start, but I just made the most out of it. Just basically nailed the start and just kept going.
Yeah, so that's usual Spa things. Now in the standings, I'm just looking at it, and you are currently in. Oh, wait, that's easy to see. You are first. You
Yeah.
are effectively first now after having the points evaluated, and you are leading by about 70 points. Yeah, only 70 points. What's going to be that strategy from now on? Are you going to just push to the limit every single time, considering you are already four rounds in, or you're going to maybe go a bit safer on the next races?
I mean, it's always, you need to have that sort of, you need to take it a little bit safe, like have some percentage left for being safe in the racing, because you don't want to risk penalties. If you get a penalty, you can fall back quite a lot, especially in a grid like this where it's very competitive. So no, I will just approach it the same as I do all the rounds. It's very long championship, so it wouldn't be smart if I would just take it safer on my rivals and let them catch me back up again in points. So yeah, well man, I'll just approach it the same. Try my best, try my hardest every single race, every single round, and yeah, we'll see.
So yeah, thank you, Grantas, for your time here in the commentary room. Obviously, congratulations on the win, and I think you will have a good remaining of the evening. That's now that you won the race, and I hope you will get many more wins in the remaining of the season.
Yeah, I hope so too. And yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully to see you soon.
Okay, thank you, Grantas. So that was Grantas Caracas, who won race number 1. Now, I already previewed the standings, but as you can see, Grantas Caracas leads the way with 5,300 points. Josh Boothby follows in second, Sam Gaskell in third, Sheo Sullivan in fourth, Eric Delfante in fifth, with Phil Minar, Samir Foch, Team Flag, Ave Santema now in 9th place, and Sasha Wasner completing your top 10 in the standings. In the results, these were the results from race number 2, week number 4. That I have updated, as you can see. Grantas Caracas, Ave Santema, Eric Delfante being your podium sitters, the McLaren in second, with Sheo Sullivan, Sasha Wasner in 5th, Jack Humble in 6th, Josh Boothby, Phil Minar 7th and 8th, Sam Gaskell and Kevin Bellick completing your top 10. Gianluigi Guida starting from second, arrived at 11th, and Marcus Fox down practically all the places since he started in first and is now in 20th. So this was tonight's round at Spa-Francorchamps. I was Chris Romano. Next race, it should be Red Bull Ring. They already forgot. Okay, it's Barcelona. Apologies. It is Barcelona on August the 7th, and we are going to have a wonderful race even there. Considering this is the season so far, we really haven't had a single boring round. But anyway, have a good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!